Welcome back, and today we're going to be making another raid farm. Yes, I know, I only just basically built the other raid farm, but that's only a start raid farm. And to be honest, isn't that quick. Today we're going to be making one that's basically 8 times the rates, nearing 900,000 items power. And this is the Chronos V3 raid farm. And they're actually pretty easy despite the huge rates. So let's get right into the video. Here is a list of materials that we'll need. So we'll need a lot of glass, which shouldn't be too hard. Emerald blocks, that shouldn't be too hard. We can get that from our raid farm. Concrete, that we can easily get. And then also observers. So this is going to be a slightly difficult bit. Smooth quartz, we don't have to use this, but it'll look better if we do. So of course we are going to get that. And then a couple more materials. But as you can see, not really too many of anything. It's actually relatively cheap, so let's start gathering materials. I've set up a quick stone generator here so we can easily get all the stone we need. We actually need cobblestone to craft all the observers. Let's get our fortune pick, then we can use that on it. Here we go. I've also set up a haste 2 beacon, using that beacon we got from the raid farm. Now we can easily get all of the cobblestone we need. Let's close the door and start mining. That should be enough cobblestone for now to craft a load of observers. Here is the first stack of observers, and now let's take some more cobblestone and craft some more. And another stack. We now need a load more quartz for other materials, like a few more observers, and then also stuff like comparators. So let's go into Nether and mine some. Here is some, so let's start mining. And here are the rest of the observers there. Now all the observers done, we can put all of this stone back in this chest here. For the chest and hoppers, I'm going to come to this jungle here, and then I can mine up all of these logs here. And that is all of the chests that we need, also to craft all of the hoppers too. So anyway, let's go back to our base now. I now need a bit of deep slate for this build, so let's come down here to deep slate level and start mining. We needed a slime farm for some slime for this raid farm, so I decided to make a quick and dirty slime farm. But it still produced quite a bit, and as you can see the slime spawn in here on light level 1 mushrooms, track to dying column, drop down here, and then they're killed by these magma blocks. And then all the items flushed in here, up this bubble column, past the slime, and not getting burnt. We should probably do something about that. And secondly, I've made this simple concrete duper here. So let's put 3 white concrete there, as that's what we'll need for this build, and then let's set it going. I have this bot here to load it to make sure it's still running, and let's go to the end and see it. So when it loads, as you can see, it's all coming into that hopper there and getting collected in here. And I've already got some sand from earlier when I was testing it. But anyway, now you can see we're getting concrete powder very quickly. We now have a load of concrete, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dig into here, and then I can place water bucket like that, put some concrete powder in my offhand, block this up, and then we can convert some concrete. We now have a lot of converted concrete, and I totally forgot a stack of concrete powder, didn't I? But anyway, what we've got is 1, 2, 3, and then we've also got a few more concrete bits in there too. Now that that stack has now been converted, we can fly back down here and go home. I now have all the materials gathered, as you can see, just in these shulker boxes all over there. And now I've come to this ocean here where you can build it, and I've lined it in sub-chunk. That's what these little corners here are for, to line it up. So I've done that, and now we've got it perfectly lined at the right Y level, and this is also in a chunk, you'll see. As you can see, it is in the right chunk. So if we go all the way up, here, then you'll see that these little corner things that I've made in this schematic are all in the right place. Here you can see edge of a chunk, and then the one on the edge chunk here, and you can see they're on the blue lines. These indicate the sub chunks. So we've got it on this sub chunk here. It just so happens that this sub chunk also ends up leaving this one block above water, which I think is pretty cool because now it's just perfectly aligned like that. Anyway, it's time to get building. So let's place the, well, first actually, let's build up quickly from here and make a little platform so we can actually place our shulkers down and stuff. And there. I've now got in all of the villager stations here, so we'll have one group there, one group here, one group here, and finally a single one down here. And now we're moving up a layer, and we're starting to get onto the platform at the top. The storage is now in, so all we have is down here a load of chests with locked hoppers, and that's all that this does, it just locks hoppers. And then here what we have is a simple shulker loader. So what happens is these will dispense boxes, well actually these ones will dispense boxes, these will fill them, then when they need to be broken, this will push this one up, it'll push that one across, and then when it goes back down, the sand or concrete in this case will drop down. And it needs to be a full block so that this comparator can take an output from it. That's basically how it works, and it's got a load of redstone out there. And I think this bit is actually probably the coolest bit of the farm, just in terms of looks. But anyway, now we're getting on to the killing bit here. So we'll be standing around here, and this is what the raiders will fall onto. We now need to add in the lava there, and I need a few more buckets, so that's why I've got in this shulker box. Go there, now we have to do the other side. So let's get these ones, we need to go there, and one more lava bucket, which will go right in there. And then that is all of the lava done, so we can just quickly clear that up like that. And there, all the lava has been put in. We are now in the nether, so we have to build out a bit and make a little platform that the ravagers can fall into some lava. So I'm going to go out a few blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go out a few more and make a box so they can come into and die. And here is the nether side all done. So all this will do is the ravagers will come out of here, they'll drop into the lava, and that's basically it. Then they'll all die in this pool. They won't be able to escape because we've got 3 high walls. Should only need 2, but just in case I've got 3 high walls. As you can see to the side of my screen, we're now gathering materials for another farm, and this is to help us run this raid farm. As to store all the materials, we'll need a load of shulker boxes. And to do that, I think the easiest thing to do is just to make a shulker farm. So that's what we're gathering materials for right now. After doing a bit of smelting, I got a load of smooth stone, and we now have all of the materials we need. And we need the smooth stone for a load of slabs and also a few blocks. Did that just so I can use the schematic. Then I've also got a load of scaffolding too, and I had to go out hunting spiders for that. Now let's float down into the end portal here. We want to find an end city that we can build this farm there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just come to this end gateway here, go through there, and now let's go and find one that's relatively close. Let's just go to one that we've been to before. Here we are, so this is the end city that we raided before. If you remember correctly, I left 2 shulkers down at the bottom there. So what I want to do now is I think I'm going to build it around here. It's not too far away from there. Let's first mine these trees up, and we shouldn't have looked at that enderman. Let's just get rid of it there and eat when we can. Let's remove these, and then we're going to be building it above here, and I better fly away quickly just so that one doesn't kill me. Now let's get rid of this one too. Well, that was nice of it. I thought it fell into void, but unfortunately it didn't. Anyway, let's clear up the rest of these trees, then we can start building. Now that we've cleared out those trees, let's go up a couple of blocks. This should be high enough so that the shulkers can't teleport down to there, so let's get building. As you can see, the farm is now done, and basically all it is a load of scaffolding layers, because what happens is the shulker, when it teleports, it sees the top of it as a valid teleport location. When it gets there, it kind of decides it isn't a solid block, so then it goes to the next one, and gradually it works its way up till it works its way up to here. And then a load of them go into these, which then become superchargers. Or actually, most of them will go here, they'll be picked up by a minecart, shot out onto the hopper here. And then when they're in here, they'll entity cramp, and all the bullets will go down here, pass down here, all the way in to the shulker, which is down here, which basically is a supercharge for it to increase the rate. Anyway, now we need to get to moving the shulker. I've made a little minecart track here with an activator rail at the end, so that'll dispense into the farm. Now all we need to do is just come here, place the minecart like that, and now the shulker is off on its adventure. So you can see it's gone all the way down there. I think it's already made the trip actually. So let's try and make sure we land on this rail. Here we go. And I think it should have gone somewhere in the farm. Let's see where it's ended up. Has it gone somewhere in here? Check on all the floors. Going there. Is it in here? We'll have to search around for it. The shulker farm is now working, and as you can see, we're starting to get shulker shells. And what happens is they all appear inside this thing here where they entity cramp. All the bullets go down here and act as a kind of supercharger on this shulker down here. This is replaced by all the other ones that are stored up here and everywhere else in this thing. And then there are just a load of snow golems to aggro it to begin with. And that's basically all this farm is, and scaffolding just makes it go up really quickly. And that's all. So I've spawned a carpet bot down here to AFK for us, and it's time to go back to the overworld. I've now gathered the materials for this tree farm, so that's all we need, everything that's in that shulker box. So let's go and get building on that. For this tree farm, I think I'm going to build it over here. So let's start by mining up these. There we go. And let's put in the storage quickly. So I think I'm going to actually get my shovel out and mine away. Load of this, slow it down one more block. So we have a bit more space to work with. As you can see, I've now positioned the schematics. Let's take out our blocks and get building. So to start with, we need to make this bit for the water streams go in. Now we can add in the water, so let's not do that. Let's place it there. Then we can remove that block there. Do one here, and then we've got to do it on the other four corners over there. And now that we've got the water streams in up here, we need to do the bit down here now. So this will take a bit of digging because the sand will come down above us. And we've got to come all the way over to here. Then let's just place a glass block there. Also one there. And this is what should be down here. And this is going to be the water column up. So let's remove this block quickly, place soul sand, and then what we can do is we can get the sign out, which is actually up here. So we'll need to get one sign, and I've got sign. Let's go and get that quickly. And here we go. Don't really need to replace that with ice, but no reason not to. So go place the water there. So what's happened is the items will drop down here, fall through the gap, go here and into the salt sand. I do need one more sign, so let's go and get that one. There we go, sign there. Now what we need to do is we need to get our water buckets here, and make a little bubble column. So we need one more bucket, or two more actually. Let's go fly up here and get some from the river. After adding a tiny bit more, so just this bit planting tree, and then tiny weeny bit of redstone here for the TNT duplicator, which is this literally all the TNT duplicator is, with a bit of water inside here so that when the TNT detonates, it won't blow up any of the blocks. And that is basically it. So now we need to get a load of bone meal to supply this farm. And to get the bone meal, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to my sugarcane farm. Then I'm going to find an empty box here, place down, quickly clear my inventory by throwing it all on the floor like this. And then we can take a load of this sugarcane and go and compost it for bone meal. Now what I can do is I can come up onto our roof and maybe on this section, and then just place down 2 chests. Here we go. Feed some hoppers into them. And then if we come up here, we place 2 composters on top. And does that work? Let's just quickly get some sugarcane out of here. Let's see if this works. That does not work, okay. And what we'll have to do is we'll break that and we'll instead have to go from above. That was what I was originally planning. I just hoping we could do double speed. I guess we have to do single hopper speed. Then let's just place our boxes of sugarcane on top. Then they can gradually convert into bone meal, as you can see. So we've got our first bone meal there. We now have a reasonable amount of bone meal here, so let's put it all into the dispenser there, then fill up all of our other inventory slots like that. There we go. And now what we can do is first of all turn that on, and then turn this on. And hopefully that should release the TNT from here. So does that work? And I think the answer is yes, it does. Let's stand here and plant saplings like this, and we can just bone meal them. From that little amount of bone meal, we've got a reasonable amount of logs now. So this should do for quite a few shulkers. I've now gone to the shulker farm and got a load of shulker shells, and it's now time to put all those shulker boxes into the farm. Here we are in the farm, so let's first take a little bit of this, make a crafting table quickly. There we go. And now let's take a load of these logs, and first let's start by turning them into planks. Then we can craft a load of chests. So here we go, stack of chests there. We're going to need a couple of more, so let's change all these into planks. And now let's dump everything in here that we can, so that we've got enough space. So here we go, can't put those in, and you can't put shulker boxes in. Anyway, that's enough. Let's make a load of shulker boxes. Here we go, and then we just input them all into there. Make more. And these are the last 2 boxes, and it's all filled up. There we go. So we can take all this stuff back out of here and put the rest of the shells in there. And that's our box of shells for us. Anyway, now that the storage is all filled up, we now have the farm completed. So these are just buttons to turn it off. One of filters off, for example, if we don't want to collect the emeralds, which is this filter, then we just push this down, it blocks this, and it can't take in any more items. And that's basically it. So we have first 3 emeralds here, then we have gunpowder, and then redstone. Now I probably should label it, but not yet. Anyway, and down here we'll have all the boxes come out here, and I went to the village because this is actually quite close to our other raid farm, so I went to the same village over there to get all the villagers in. And now the farm is complete. So now we just need to get Bad Omen. Let's go and do that now. Here we are at the outpost, so let's kill this captain there. Now we've got Bad Omen, we can go back to the raid farm. Here we are, so here it is coming in sight now. Let's quickly go a bit higher, because I think if we land up on this higher platform, it shouldn't start until we go onto the lower platform. And here we go, so wait, we turn that switch off, and then we hit this armor stand once. If I can get in there. There we go. And I think I must have done something wrong here, because that was meant to close trapdoor. So let's see what I've done wrong. I've figured out what the problem was, and that's that in here there's meant to be an armor stand. So that's now in place, and now we can go back and get new Bad Omen, and actually some raids are up there, so let's see if we can actually, well, Vexes, they're not good. Okay, let's just despawn them and go and get a new Bad Omen. The farm is now running, as you can see, so let's go up here and take a look, and it is a bit frame ratey as it's spawning so many waves time, and as you can see you can't even really see it when they spawn. Then they get dropped straight down and pulled into the killing chamber. Then we've got just this thing swinging inside there, and all our drops are put through here. And that's basically it. And then a load of item filters, double speed ones with shulker loaders down below. And now it's time to just AFK here for a while and see what we can get for this farm. I also decided to dye my shulker boxes white to fit with the theme here that we've got going on. As well, a lot of white blocks, I thought it just fits a bit better if they're all white. So I used some of my bones and went out hunting at night to get a few more. After running the raid farm for about an hour, it's now completely shut off. As you can see, it's no more raids spawning. Now it's time to see what we got. So we got a good amount of emeralds, good amount of ones there too. It's a lot of emeralds, not any gunpowder in there, a load of gunpowder there, and a load of gunpowder there. So lots of gunpowder, and no redstone there, no redstone there. We did get a lot of redstone here.